With folded hands I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all Buddhas in spirit. With folded hands I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all Buddhas in spirit. With folded hands I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all Buddhas in spirit. With folded hands I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all Buddhas in spirit. With folded hands I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all Buddhas in spirit. With folded hands I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all Buddhas in spirit. With folded hands I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all Buddhas in spirit. With folded hands I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all Buddhas in spirit. With folded hands I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all Buddhas in spirit. With folded hands I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all Buddhas in spirit. With folded hands I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all Buddhas in spirit. With folded hands I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all Buddhas in spirit. With folded hands I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all Buddhas in spirit. With folded hands I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all Buddhas in spirit. With folded hands I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all Buddhas in spirit. With folded hands I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all Buddhas in spirit. With folded hands I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all Buddhas in spirit. With folded hands I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all Buddhas in spirit. So let's just take a few minutes to find a comfortable posture. Make sure your back is straight and your eyes are half closed. And notice where your breath is the strongest, whether it's air coming in and out of your nostrils or the rise and fall of your belly. And take a few deep breaths. And now from this quiet space, we will begin by setting a proper motivation, which consists of 3 parts. The refuge field. In the space in front of us, we visualize Buddha Shakyamuni, His Holiness the 14th Dalai Lama, and all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, or any other enlightened beings you regard with veneration. They are looking upon each of us with immense kindness and unconditional love, just as a mother looks upon her only child. Next, the bodhicitta field. Visualize seated on either side of us our kind parents, mother on the left and father on the right. Additionally, we are accompanied by all other dear mother sentient beings, leaving none aside, and we are leading them in this practice. The purpose of the practice is to manifest the Buddha nature within us, which is the ultimate source of happiness, by removing the 2 mental obscuration, the afflictive obscurations, consisting of the negative emotions, contaminated karmas and their corresponding active seeds, and the cognitive obscurations, which are the subtle stains, the inactive latencies of the afflictions and contaminated karmas. And we are doing this so that the Buddha nature, or the jewel that is within us, can shine through.
So we recite the following verses while mentally invoking their profound meanings and associated experiences. Page 3, page 3. Enthused by great compassion, you taught the Immaculate Dharma to dispel all perverted views. To you, the Buddha Gautama, I pay homage. Enthused by great compassion, you taught the Immaculate Dharma to dispel all perverted views. To you, the Buddha Gautama, I pay homage. Enthused by great compassion, you taught the Immaculate Dharma to dispel all perverted views. To you, the Buddha Gautama, I pay homage. Taking refuge in generating bodhicitta, first in English. I go for refuge until I'm enlightened, to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. By my accumulations of the practice of giving and so forth, may I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. I go for refuge until I'm enlightened, to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. By my accumulations of the practice of giving and so forth, may I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. I go for refuge until I'm enlightened, to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. By my accumulations of the practice of giving and so forth, may I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. Sangye chodan sogi chognam la jangju bardu dani kyapsu chi dagi jinso gipe sonam ki drola pencher sangye drupar shog. Sangye chodan sogi chognam la jangju bardu dani kyapsu chi dagi jinso gipe sonam ki drola pencher sangye drupar shog. Sangye chodan sogi chognam la jangju bardu dani kyapsu chi dagi jinso gipe sonam ki drola pencher sangye drupar shog. Independent origination, there is no ceasing, no arising, no annihilation, no permanence, no coming, no going, no separateness and no sameness. I prostrate to the consummate Buddha, the supreme among all teachers, the one who taught this peace, which is freed of elaborations. I prostrate to the mothers of the hearers, the bodhisattvas and the Buddhas, which through the knowledge of all lead hearers seeking pacification to complete peace, which through the knower of paths causes those helping migrators to achieve the aims of the world, and through the possession of which helps subduers expound a variety of teachings. The one who has transformed into the reliable guide, motivated by altruism to benefit sentient beings, the teacher, Sugata, and protector, to you I make prostrations. The one who has eliminated the web of conceptualizations and is endowed with the divine bodies of the vast and the profound, who eternally shines forth the forever noble light rays, to you, the Buddha, I make prostration. Inspired by wisdom and compassion, today in the Buddha's presence, I generate the mind of full awakening for the benefit of all sentient beings. The essence of the dependent origination mantra. Om ye dharma hetu prabhava hetun teshan tata gato hevadat teshan chayo niroda evam vadi mahashramanaye swaha. Om ye dharma hetu prabhava hetun teshan tata gato hevadat teshan chayo niroda evam vadi mahashramanaye swaha. Om ye dharma hetu prabhava hetun teshan tata gato hevadat te shanchayo nirodha evam vadi mahashramanaye swaha. The meaning of the Tendral Ningpo mantra. All phenomena arise from causes. The causes are taught by the Tathagata. The cessation of the causes as well is taught by the Great Seer. Profound, peaceful, elaboration-free, clear light, and non-composite. Such is the nectar-like dharma I have discovered. Finding no one to fathom this teaching, in silence I will retire into the woods. Beyond utterance, thought, and expression is the perfection of wisdom, which is unborn, unseized, and has the nature of space. It is the object of apprehension of self-realized wisdom. To you, the mother of the Buddhas of the 3 times, I pay obeisance. The 4 seals of Buddha's teachings. All composite things are impermanent. All contaminated things are of the nature of suffering. All phenomena are of the nature of emptiness and selflessness. Transcending sorrow is peace. The Guru is the Buddha, the Guru is the Dharma. Likewise, the Guru is the Sangha. The Guru is the source of everything wholesome. I go for refuge in the Guru. By the sound of the vibrant drum of Dharma, you liberate all beings of miseries. I beseech you to kindly remain and give teachings until the end of the expanse of billions of eons. The Buddha does not wash the negativities of beings, nor does he remove their miseries by his hands. His spiritual realizations are not transferred to them. It is by teaching the truth of suchness that beings are liberated. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all bewildered in misery's gloom. Instructions on parting from the 4 attachments. If you are attached to this life, you are not a spiritual practitioner. If you are attached to samsara, you have no renunciation. If you are attached to your own self-interest, you have no bodhicitta. If there is grasping, you do not have the view. Page 1414. Praise to Shakyamuni Buddha. To the founder, the endowed transcendent destroyer, the one gone beyond, the 4 destroyer, the completely perfected, fully awakened being, perfect in knowledge and in good conduct, Sugata, knower of the world, supreme guide of human beings to be tamed, teacher of gods and human beings, to you, the completely and fully awakened one, the endowed transcendent destroyer, the glorious conqueror, the subduer from the Shakya clan, I prostrate, make offerings, and go for refuge. When you were supreme amongst humans, you were born on this earth. You paced out 7 strides, then said, I am supreme in this world. To you who were wise then, I prostrate. With pure bodies, forms supremely pure, wisdom ocean like a golden mountain, places in the 3 worlds, winner of the best, Lord, to you I prostrate. With a supreme science, face like a spotless moon, color like gold, to you I prostrate. Dust-free like you, the 3 worlds are not. Incomparable wise one, to you I prostrate. The Savior having great compassion, the Founder having all understanding, the field of merit with qualities like a vast ocean, to you, the Tathagata, I prostrate. The purity that frees one from attachment, the virtue that frees one from the lower realms, the one path, the sublime pure reality, to Dharma that pacifies, I prostrate. Those who are liberated and also show the path to liberation, the holy field qualified with realizations, who are devoted to the moral precepts, to you, the Sangha, I prostrate. Do not commit any non-virtuous actions. Perform only perfect virtuous actions. Subdue your mind thoroughly. This is the teaching of the Buddha. A star, a visual aberration, a flame of a lamp, an illusion, a drop of dew or a bubble, a dream, a flash of lightning, a cloud. See conditioned things as such. Through these merits may sentient beings attain the rank of all-seeing. Subdue the four falls and be delivered from samsara's ocean, perturbed by the waves of aging, sickness, and death. Page 29. 29. The Heart Sutra, the Perfection of Wisdom Sutra. I prostrate to the Arya Triple Gem. Thus did I hear at one time. The Buddha was dwelling on massive Vultures Mountain in Rajagriha, together with a great community of monks and a great community of bodhisattvas. At that time, the Buddha was absorbed in the concentration on the categories of phenomena called profound illumination. Also at that time, the Bodhisattva Mahasattva Arya Avalokiteshvara looked upon the very practice of the profound illumination of wisdom and beheld those five aggregates also as empty of inherent nature. Then through the power of the Buddha, the Venerable Shariputra said this to the Bodhisattva Mahasattva Arya Avalokiteshvara. How should any child of the lineage who wishes to practice the activity of the profound perfection of wisdom train? He said that, and the Bodhisattva Mahasattva Arya Avalokiteshvara said this to the Venerable Sharadvati Putra. Shariputra, any son of the lineage or daughter of the lineage who wishes to practice the activity of the profound perfection of wisdom should look upon it like this, correctly and repeatedly beholding those five aggregates also as empty of inherent nature. Form is empty. Emptiness is form. Emptiness is not other than form. Form is also not other than emptiness. In the same way, feeling, discrimination, compositional factors, and consciousness are empty. Shariputra, likewise, all phenomena are empty, without characteristic, unproduced, unseized, stainless, not without stain, not deficient, not fulfilled. Shariputra, therefore in emptiness, there is no form, no feeling, no discrimination, no compositional factors, no consciousness, no eye, no ear, no nose, no tongue, no body, no mind, no visual form, no sound, no smell, no taste, no object of touch, and no phenomena. There is no I element, and so on, up to and including no mind element, and no mental consciousness element. There is no ignorance, no extinction of ignorance, and so on, up to and including no aging and death, and no extinction of aging and death. Similarly, there is no suffering, origination, cessation, and path. There is no exalted wisdom, no attainment, and also no non-attainment. Shariputra, therefore, because there is no attainment, bodhisattvas rely on and dwell in the perfection of wisdom, the mind without obscuration and thus without fear. Having completely passed beyond error, they reach the endpoint of nirvana. All the Buddhas who dwell in the three times also manifestly, completely awaken to unsurpassable, perfect, complete enlightenment in reliance on the perfection of wisdom. Therefore, the mantra of the perfection of wisdom, the mantra of great knowledge, the unsurpassed mantra, the mantra equal to the unequaled, the mantra that thoroughly pacifies all suffering, should be known as truth since it is not false. The mantra of the perfection of wisdom is declared. Tayata Om Gate Gate Para Gate Parasam Gate Bodhi Swaha. Shariputra, the Bodhisattva Mahasattva, should train in the profound perfection of wisdom like that. Then the Buddha arose from that concentration and commended the Bodhisattva Mahasattva Arya Avalokiteshvara, saying, well said, son of the lineage. It is like that, it is like that. One should practice the profound perfection of wisdom just as you have indicated. Even the Tathagatas rejoice. The Buddha having thus spoken, the Venerable Sharadvati Putra, the Bodhisattva Mahasattva Arya Avalokiteshvara, those surrounding in their entirety, along with the world of gods, humans, asuras, and Gandharvas, were overjoyed and highly praised that spoken by the Buddha. This completes the Arya Bhagavati Prajnaparamita Hridaya Sutra. Teata Om Gate Gate Paragate Parasamgate Bodhi Swaha 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 Teata Om Gate Gate Paragate Parasamgate Bodhi Swaha. By the teachings of the three supreme jewels possessing the power of truth, may inner and outer hindrances be transformed. May they be dispelled. May they be non-existent. May they be pacified. May all negative forces opposed to the Dharma be completely pacified. May the host of 80,000 obstacles be pacified. May we be separated from problems and conditions harmful to the Dharma. May all enjoyments be in accord with the Dharma. May auspiciousness and perfect happiness pervade this place now. Page 3535. Eight verses for training the mind by Geshe Tangpa. With a determination to achieve the highest aim for the benefit of all sentient beings, which surpasses even the wish-fulfilling gem, may I hold them dear at all times. Whenever I interact with someone, may I view myself as the lowest amongst all, and from the very depths of my heart, respectfully hold others as superior. In all my deeds, may I probe into my mind, and as soon as mental and emotional afflictions arise, as they endanger myself and others, may I strongly confront them and avert them. When I see beings of unpleasant character and those oppressed by strong negativity and suffering, may I hold them dear, for they are rare to find, as if I have discovered a jewel treasure. When others, out of jealousy, treat me wrongly with abuse, slander, and scorn, may I take upon myself the defeat and offer to others the victory. When someone whom I have helped or in whom I have placed great hopes mistreats me in extremely hurtful ways, may I regard her still as my precious teacher. In brief, may I offer benefit and joy to all my mothers, both directly and indirectly. May I quietly take upon myself all hurts and pains of my mothers. May all this remain undefiled by the stains of the 8 mundane concerns, and may I, recognizing all things as illusions, devoid of clinging, be released from bondage. Lama Tsongkhapa's Lamrim Dedication Prayer, verse 1. From my 2 collections, vast as space, that I have amassed from working with effort at this practice for a great length of time, may I become the chief leading Buddha for all those whose mind's wisdom eye is blinded by ignorance. The 7-limb practice, excerpt from the King of Prayers, the extraordinary aspiration of the practice of Samantabhadra. I bow down to the youthful Arya Manjushri, you the Buddhas, the lions amongst humans, gone to freedom in the present, past, and future, in the worlds of 10 directions, To all of you with body, speech, and sincere mind, I bow down. With the energy of aspiration for the Bodhisattva way, with a sense of deep respect, and with as many bodies as atoms of the world, to all you Buddhas visualized as real, I bow down. On every particle are Buddhas numberless as particles, each amidst a host of bodhisattvas, and I am confident the sphere of all phenomena is entirely filled with Buddhas in this way. With infinite oceans of praise for you and oceans of sound from the aspects of my voice, I sing the breathtaking excellence of Buddhas and celebrate all of you Sugatas. Beautiful flowers and regal garlands, sweet music, scented oils and parasols, sparkling lights and sublime incense, I offer to you victorious ones, the Buddhas. Fine dress and fragrant perfumes, sandalwood powder heaped high as Mount Meru, all wondrous offerings in spectacular array, I offer to you victorious ones. With transcendent offerings, peerless and vast, with profound admiration for all the Buddhas, with strength of conviction in the Bodhisattva way, I offer and bow down to all victorious ones. Every harmful action I have done with my body, speech, and mind, overwhelmed by attachment, anger, and ignorance, all these I openly lay bare before you. I lift up my heart and rejoice in all the merit of the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas in 10 directions, of solitary realizers, hearers still training, and those beyond, and of all ordinary beings. You who are the bright lights of the worlds in 10 directions, who have attained the Buddha's omniscience through the stages of awakening, all you who are my guides, please turn the supreme wheel of Dharma. With palms together, I earnestly request, you who may actualize parinirvana, please stay with us for eons numberless as atoms of the world, for the happiness and well-being of all wanderers in samsara. Whatever slight merit I may have accumulated, by making prostrations, offering, and confessing, rejoicing and requesting that the Buddhas stay and teach, I now dedicate all this for the full awakening of all beings. The short mandala offering, first in English. This ground anointed with perfume, strewn with flowers, adorned with Mount Meru, the 4 continents, the sun, and the moon. I imagine this as a Buddha field and offer it. May all sentient beings enjoy this pure land. So Sashipuki Jusheng Me Totram Rirobling Ni Degen Padi Sangye Jingdu Mikte Uwai Drokun Madag Jingla Choparsho. The 4 dharmas of Venerable Gampopa. May I be blessed that my mind is directed towards the dharma. May I be blessed that my dharma practice is on the proper path. May I be blessed that the path is freed of flaws. May I be blessed that the flaws are seen in the light of exalted wisdom. The 4 dharmas of Venerable Bhikshu Mahasattva. Becoming utterly frustrated with the ignorance that grasps at true existence, please bless me to generate genuine renunciation, seeing all aspects of samsara as viciously repulsive. Please bless me that my mind stream overflows with the precious bodhicitta that cherishes others more than myself. Please bless me to have an immaculate experience of the wisdom of emptiness that does not see even an atom of intrinsic reality, on the basis of understanding how things come into being by dependent origination through mere conditioning. Please bless me that my mind stream overflows with the precious wisdom of the non-duality of bliss and emptiness. Idam Guru Ratna Mandalakam Niryatayami. The Foundation of All Good Qualities by Lama Tsongkhapa. The foundation of all good qualities is the kind and perfect pure Guru. Correct devotion to the Guru is the root of the path. By clearly seeing this and applying great effort, please bless me to rely upon the Guru with great respect. Understanding that the precious freedom of this rebirth is found only once, is greatly meaningful and is difficult to find again. Please bless me to generate the mind that unceasingly day and night takes its essence. This life is as impermanent as a water bubble. Remember how quickly it decays and death comes. After death, just like a shadow follows the body, the results of virtuous and non-virtuous karma follow. Finding firm and definite conviction in this, please bless me always to be careful, to abandon even the slightest negativity, and accomplish all virtuous deeds. Samsaric splendors are unsatisfying and unreliable. Seeking them is the door to all suffering. Recognizing these shortcomings, please bless me to generate a strong wish for the bliss of liberation. Led by this pure thought, mindfulness, alertness, and great caution arise. The root of the teachings is keeping the pratimoksha vows. Please bless me to accomplish this essential practice. Just as I have fallen into the sea of samsara, so have all mother migratory beings. Please bless me to see this, train in supreme bodhicitta, and bear the responsibility of freeing migratory beings. Even if I develop bodhicitta, but I don't practice the 3 types of morality, I will not achieve enlightenment. With my clear recognition of this, please bless me to practice the bodhisattva vows with great energy. Once I've pacified distractions to wrong objects and correctly analyzed the meaning of reality, please bless me to generate quickly within my mind stream the unified path of calm abiding and special insight. Having become a pure vessel by training in the general path, please bless me to enter the holy gateway of the fortunate ones, the supreme Vajra vehicle. At that time, the basis of accomplishing the 2 attainments is keeping pure vows and samaya. As I have become firmly convinced of this, please bless me to protect these vows and pledges like my life. Then, having realized the importance of the 2 stages, the essence of Vajrayana, by practicing with great energy, never giving up the 4 sessions, please bless me to realize the teachings of the Holy Guru. Like that, may the Gurus who show the noble path and the spiritual friends who practice it have long lives. Please bless me to pacify completely all outer and inner hindrances. In all my lives, never separated from perfect Gurus, may I enjoy the magnificent Dharma. By completing the qualities of the stages and paths, may I quickly attain the state of Vajradhara. So we recite first the meaning of the Miksema verse in English, and then the Miksema 4-line verse, and then again the meaning of the verse. You are Avalokiteshvara, great treasure of non-referential compassion, and Manjushri, master of flawless wisdom, as well as Vajrapani, destroyer of hordes of demons without exception. Tsongkhapa, crown jewels of the sages of the land of snows. Losang Drapa, at your feet I make prostrations. Meg me ze we der chen chen re zig dri me ken pe wam pu jam pel yang gan chen ke pe zu gen so lo zang drape zabla zoade mig mezeveter chen chen rezig dreame kenpe wampo jampelyang ganchen ke pezuk gen song kapa lo zang drape zabla zovade mig mezewe ter chen chen rezig dreame kenpe wangpo jampelyang ganchen ke pezo gen song kapa lo zang drape zabla zoade. Meaning of the mantra? You are Avalokiteshvara, great treasure of non-referential compassion, and Manjushri, master of flawless wisdom, as well as Vajrapani, destroyer of hordes of demons without exception. Tsongkhapa, crown jewel of the sages of the land of snows. Losangdrapa, at your feet I make prostrations.
Thank you, Venerable. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so we have the main practice, generally the mode of conservation yoga in Tibetan, Tamjet Nenjoga Simkyeba, which has 4 parts: the shamatha meditation, renunciation, Dorji, emptiness, and then taking the aspiration bodhisattva. With this, my first 5 minutes of the practice, shamatha meditation. So for this, what is important is that most of you already know what is important, but for more who are beginners, what is important is that within a single point meditation, 4 points keep in mind: body posture, focal point, identify the areas of meditation, and applying the remedies. First, body posture. With the body posture, there are 2 most important things. One is body upright, not like this, and then not leaning against the support. Leaning against the support, the beginners, you may not feel it. You who do meditation for a long time, they say, you sit like this, and suddenly you sit like this, leaning against the support. Instantly you can feel the drop in the rigor of your mind. Instantly you feel it. So therefore, sit upright. This is very important. Meanwhile, not rigid, flexible, but upright. This is very important. And then sit like this, bend. Instantly the rigor will drop. So this is something which is very important. Then the next thing which is very important is eyes not closed. Eyes half open, 45 degrees cast down, eyes not open, because eyes not closed. And later on, when you really gain command of the meditation, then they say with eyes closed, eyes open, there's no difference. Okay, till that point, we make sure that you do your meditation eyes open, which is not easy. Eyes closed is way easier, but eyes open. Later on, if you start with eyes closed, later on the progress will be start. You will get the progress start, and that is going to be quite a dangerous thing. Then so these two are the most important things. Then with respect to the object of the meditation, count breath, breathe in, and then yes, what should we meditate on with respect to the as an object of the shamatha meditation? There are innumerable objects indicated by the great teachers, like, for example, Arya Sangha on the Chitta philosophy trailblazer. So what he taught, there are innumerable, amazing, and the innumerable objects of meditation were taught by Arya Sangha. And so what we're doing is a very simple one and yet very beneficial. So just count breath, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. Alongside, if you want to make it more complex, then multitasking. You also simultaneously visualize a tiny white dot in nose, nose, upper lip. So this is the two things happening together. Okay. Then the number 3 and number 4, these are very important. Identifying the errors of meditation and applying the remedies. First, the error. Error mainly twofold. One is mental laxity, which is the inactivity of the mind. Other one is the mental excitement, overactivity of the mind. These two are the errors. So how to apply it? How once you, it's so important for us to identify, keep an eye on a mind to see that if you fall under these two errors. If yes, then apply the remedies, introspection and mindfulness. Introspection is like the spy to check what your mind is doing. Is it meditating, or it is distracted, or it is sleeping, or drowsy, heavy, lethargic? The introspection is to check that. Once you see that your mind is gone to one of these mistakes, errors, like overactivity or the inactivity, then apply the mindfulness. Mindfulness is like the rope to bring the mind back to the intended object of meditation. Okay, so with this mind, this is what we are doing here. So I think we did it before. Physical exercise, breathing exercise, and then the meditation. Ready? First, physical exercise. This physical exercise will be very good for say when you sit for meditation for a long time, or those with sedentary lifetime in the office with a computer all the time. So backache issue, these things happen. And for the meditations also, for example, like the retreats, and then where you sit the upright all the time, you start to feel the pain. You have the backache problem. But whereas if you move different positions, then it's fine. Okay. So the first is hold your two knees and the two arms straight, and backbone upright, and right shoulder closer towards the left knee, and the younger ones can even touch. Chelsea, you can touch? Yes. Okay. What about others? Omar, you can touch? No? Okay. Min, you can touch? Wow. Mob, touch? Huh? You try? Oh, no way. But you try. Good. Okay, ready? 3 times. And don't do it very quickly. Do it gently. Make sure that you feel the stretch. 1, 2, 3. Now the left shoulder. 1, 2, 3. Right shoulder. 1, 2, 3. Left shoulder. 1, 2, 3. Okay, good. Next, the breathing exercise. Ready? Okay. Stretch your 2 hands out, thumbs in, rapidly, upside down, put in your knees. Okay, pull in the front and to your left side. And the, yes, left side. And the, okay, okay, the forefinger out. Block your right nostril, take 3 deep breaths. And put your hand down. Once more, pull to your right. Block your left nostril. Once more, pull from both nostrils. Are you good? Now 5 minutes. Okay, next renunciation. This is going to be guided, and yeah, so let's take the opportunity to see how much we can invoke the experience to the best we can in line with the instructions given. And so whereas the correlating with the instructions given with what you have studied before, what you've heard before, and so forth. So this correlation you can do later, not at this moment. This moment, just take this advantage take missing advantage to invoke the experiences to the best you can. Okay. First, renunciation. Renunciation is to renounce the miseries. To renounce miseries, we need to learn how to renounce causal miseries. What the Buddha taught, ye dharma hetu prabhava. Hetum tesham tathagato hevatat. All phenomena arise from causes. And here, all phenomena refers to all composite phenomena. All composite phenomena of experiences of pains and happiness, they should necessarily arise from the causes. And what the causes are is taught by the Tathagata. So the causes, what the Buddha taught, is contentment, afflictions, inappropriate attention, and self-grasping ignorance. And finally is ignorance, and ignorance again is many layers. Buddha taught particularly 4 levels of ignorance, which are directly related to how the emotions of afflictions arise within us. To counteract these 4, the Buddha taught the 4 seals. First, all composite things are impermanent. Composite things constituting of things which are composed of material directional parts and temporal parts. Physical things having directional parts as well as temporal parts, and the mental constituted of the temporal parts in time. And whatever is the composite phenomena should necessarily be impermanent. And impermanence is of 2 kinds, gross and subtle. It's very important for us to contemplate first in the gross, and then feel a very strong aversion to the very gross afflictions, driven by the belief that things are so lasting, and we don't even think of the future. Gross impermanence our youth, and the beautiful days that you had with your parents, beautiful days when you were at school or college days, and the beautiful sunset, and in fact the beautiful time here in Thosamling. 8 days ago we arrived at an extremely beautiful place. So now it's come to an end. And our youth, yes, once upon a time it was youth, and now it's disappearing, fading away. And think of the people 100 years ago, 200 years ago. Just as what you are today, they were there, the parents, the children, and the children, they were so apprehensive about their career, about life, and the parents having so much expectation on the children. So now whether the expectations are met or not, the career, ambition, they came as expected or not, they're all gone. Even the people are gone. Today, the 8 billion human beings, within the span of 100 to 200 years in the future from now, they'll all be gone. That's a reality. And the old fortresses, old palaces, now people go for tourist sites. These are all the proof of the gross impermanence. Things which we see as so static today, the world scenario seems to be one way. We're driven by some some politicians. Again, this is going to be just a fading history, days in the future. This is really impermanence. So it is for this reason that the Buddha taught, all what is gathered disperses, all what is accumulated exhausts, and all what is born dies. And the Buddha was asked, all what is born will die? Buddha said, yes. All that dies will be born. The Buddha said, those who have cut the attachment by cutting the ignorance, they will not be reborn. Those who have not cut the attachment with the very vibrant ignorance, self-grasping ignorance, their miseries will continue. So those who are born will necessarily die, but those who die may not necessarily take birth in samsara again. This is a big message for us, big inspiration for us. So with this in mind, so there's always change. The whose continuum, the gross impermanence whose continuum terminates. It's possible if the change is happening on a minuscule level, the change you see over the span of 10 years, 20 years, 30 years is possible only if this change happening on a yearly basis, monthly basis. But when you meditate on the subtle impermanence, it's very important not to jump to the momentary changes right there. Then nothing will come experientially. So it needs to be taken slowly, step by step. Then it can be percolated on the experiential level. The change that you see over on the annual basis is seen only if this change happens on monthly basis, weekly basis, daily basis, hourly basis, minute by minute basis, second by second basis, millisecond by millisecond basis. So in essence, all composite things should necessarily be undergoing the momentariness, the change that you see on the level of the seconds, milliseconds, where if you press your timer and the stopwatch on a mobile, you see how the digits move so fast. This is exactly how our body moves, how the whole universe moves so fast. Somebody who can see this through this gradual, progressive analysis, you see that many of our unnecessary attachment, mental obsessions will stop, and this gives you ease of your mind. It frees your mind. It is like, yes, just imagine that your body moves so fast. Yes, this reality. We're not seeing this all because of the grossness of the senses. Otherwise, this reality which we have deduced through this reasoning, the whole world around you, the place, your friends, the cars, the roads, even the governments, everything, all composite phenomena, they are changing momentarily so fast. Instantaneously, they are moving so fast. Yes, it's very scary to see that. It's like you being thrown in a very fast moving train. Faster train moves, more the fear. Why? We don't know where this train is taking us. If and who decides where this train is taking us? The train driver decides. And if the driver is your mom or dad, no doubt he'll take you to pick the spot. But if it's a terrorist or under the dictator of terrorists, no doubt it'll take you to the slaughterhouse. In that case, while the driver is the mind, unfortunately, it is under the dictate of the worst of the terrorists, worst of the contamination, which is self-grasping ignorance, complemented by the self-centered attitude, giving rise to the offshoots, inappropriate tension, afflictions, contentment, calmness. As long as this is what we embody, contamination, what we only can possibly go through, experience, is the miseries. And miseries are of three kinds. Suffering, which is so evidently painful, which nobody wants, even the animals, insects, let alone human beings. Nobody wants this experience. It's so acutely painful, immediately painful. Suffering change, which is so vicious in ways of serving as a bait to lure us. We're intoxicated by this bait-like suffering change. The mundane happiness is a bait. The lures us. Only when you come to the end, you regret. For example, like the nowadays, young, old, everybody is scrolling through the, and you have deadlines, you have so many other works to do, very, very meaningful things to do, and being just lured, caught up by this scrolling through the mobile. And after 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, your mind is already tired, you have left no energy, you regret. And again the next time it happens. This is the lure, this is the bait. This is suffering change. So suffering change serves as a bait and lure so that we will use our time in a very unproductive way, accumulate more negative karmas, and then end up into more suffering. And pervasive conditioned suffering, this is the mastermind which hides behind everything. Which hides behind, and yet yet serving as the mastermind to trigger, to give rise to suffering change, and then suffering. And we're even unaware what it is like. Suffering, we can manifest this, feel this, see it as suffering. Suffering change, we can feel it, but it's not as a suffering, as happiness. And suffering, physical condition suffering, we don't even feel it. We are not even aware of that. They're so vicious, because of which we become so vulnerable. We're truly helpless. It's only because of the blessings of the enlightened masters, the Buddha, Nalanda masters, today His Holiness the Dalai Lama, we come to know through indirect ways that there is something called self, the pervasive conditions of particularly self-grasping ignorance, which is the sleep which creates all the dreams of the conventional world. And we're trapped there. This is the viciousness of the pervasive conditioned suffering. And for us who do not realize, you and me, suffering is good enough. Just to think of one moment of such suffering is good enough. And like to contemplate more on this, you'll gradually come to realize the viciousness of suffering change. And then contemplating more, we'll come to realize that finally it's a self-grasping ignorance or the pervasive condition suffering, which is a mastermind of everything. And if I'm to really feel angry towards somebody, it should be this self-grasping ignorance, the pervasive condition suffering. Yes, that's amazing. And for us ordinary beings, for the time being, suffering, the mere thought of suffering makes us become sick. And one moment of such suffering, tragedy, is good enough. For example, loss of near and dear ones. It just shocks you. And it's just good enough to nullify all the past experiences of joys, happiness, celebrities, festivities, birthday parties, and so forth. It all seems so hollow, shallow, meaningless, and grim. Yes, that's very true, I understand it. And when will this stop? When will this stop? It's very painful to think of that. When will this stop? 2024 stopped on its own. And all these eras of the Geshe Alexander the Great, Genghis Khan, and so forth. They all stopped. When will these pains stop? The tears of the pain stop. They will never stop on their own until we put effort. Okay, they'll continue. They'll continue. And it's not that we just die and then that's the end. No, the mind continues to the next life. And this mind-body relationship, how the mind and body separated, again the mind goes to meet with another body. And this is how our cycle continues. This is a cycle. And it's extremely painful. Extremely painful. Yes, how to get away from this? If you are very serious to get away from this, we need to, as the Buddha indicated, Hitum Tesham Tathagato Hyavatat. What the causes are is taught by the Tathagata, and the causes with all the contaminant karmas, afflictions, inappropriate attention, and finally ignorance. Within ignorance, so many layers, and finally, it is the self-grasping ignorance. So how do we get away from this? We have to introduce counterforce. But the counterforce is only just as it is to eradicate the darkness. It is only to introduce light. Similarly, it is only to introduce light of the wisdom that the darkness of ignorance can be eradicated. What is this wisdom? The wisdom is the discerning mind whose apprehension of object tallies with the reality. What's the reality? Reality is what the Buddha indicated as the third seal. Everything is the nature of emptiness, selflessness, or the all phenomena are nature, emptiness, selflessness. Okay, what is this emptiness? Okay, given that we already studied emptiness, at least in a cursory form, let's meditate on emptiness. Today, let us meditate on the emptiness of somebody who you love so much. Particularly, I would say, emotionally. Emotion is so attached to somebody. Think of that person. Okay, how does this person appear to you? So intrinsically real, so objectively real, not like a dream. Okay, this belief that this person is so intrinsically real, that is self-grasping ignorance, and this is the worst of the sufferings. This one which imprisons us in the dream of samsara. Okay, how do I know that this is ignorance, this is not a valid mind? Yes. Remember what Arya taught. If the mirage were to be water, one not those close by the mirage see water. But a similar token of reasoning, if this person to whom I love so much, if this person were to exist objectively, why do I see this person as I go close to this object? Okay, now let us go close to the object. This is technically known as subjecting this person to ultimate analysis. But this subjecting the person to ultimate analysis, just ignore all those things which are not this person, because you are interested in the objective existent person who you see as so loving. Okay, going closer, we see the thin layer of the skin of the person. Behind that, the fatty tissues. Behind that, the muscles, cartilages, the heart, the lungs, the liver, the whole skeleton. Okay, these constitute element of earth. And then they say, in the eyes of this ultimate analysis, the self, these are not to be seen as intrinsically one with the self, meaning in the eyes of ultimate analysis, these are not seen as the self. Okay, if you are not sure of this is understanding of the emptiness of the oneness, intrinsic oneness of the self, the person with the parts. Now, see, remove this. If if you still believe that the person exists as subjectively, then given that it's not the parts, so see if it is different from the parts. Remove the parts. What is left? Nothing is left here. So with this, you've understood that it is the self is empty of intrinsically being different from its parts, which is good. Now, given that both are ruled out, both the possibilities for the self to exist object as ruled out, now tell me, from the object, where is this self? Nothing is there. Stay in this experience for a while. It doesn't mean the self is empty. It simply means the self is objectively empty. Whether self is empty or not is not decided by the ultimate analysis. That is to be decided by the conventional analysis. Okay. Now stay in this experience. Okay, for some there could be a tinge of fear. For others, say cold waves can flow through your body. For some, ticking sensations can happen on your skin. And for some, extremely tranquil feeling can come at the core of your heart, which you have never experienced before. Okay, that's a very profound practice. But what's the benefit of this practice? Yes, just as this person who you love so much is seen to be empty of objective reality, therefore emotional pull stops. Involuntary emotional pull stops. But of course, this compassion will not stop. Involuntary emotion, involuntary means that you are vulnerable. That stops, which means that you become stronger. That's amazing. Just as this happens with this person, likewise, if I subject all my miseries, all my sorrows to the same analysis, likewise they will dissolve. This is what I'm seeking. In the experience of emptiness, all my sorrows dissolve, transcendent, the miseries, anxiety, stress, depression, everything dissolves in this experience. Wow, this is amazing. Now generate very strong wish. May I forever abide in this experience of the emptiness where all my sorrows are transcended. This is the ultimate final meaning of the most subtle meaning of the renunciation. Otherwise, we say, may I be freed from self-grasping ignorance. May I be freed from afflictions. May I be freed from miseries. These are the grosser level of understanding of renunciation. The ultimate meaning of renunciation is, may I experience the emptiness. May I continuously abide in this experience of emptiness where all my sorrows are transcended, dissolved into the vast expanse of emptiness. This is the meaning of the renunciation. Stay in this experience of the renunciation for a while. Okay. Now slowly come out of the practice to join the meditation on bodhicitta. Are you ready? Okay, bodhicitta practice. Again, a reminder. For the actual bodhicitta practice, there are two methods. Method of sevenfold cause-effect method to generate bodhicitta, and the method of equalizing and exchanging self for others. The two methods are there, and when we have to learn these two methods. Once you learn these two methods, then the job is to actually practice. Whereas what we in group, because these two methods take a lot of time to accommodate whatever little time that we have. We do the four vegetables, which is like a preliminary practice for the bodhicitta. Okay, so, and then we'll end with the say bodhicitta commitment. Ready? Bodhicitta is defined as the altruistic intention to become Buddha to become Buddha meaning to awaken your Buddha nature, awaken your hidden treasure completely for the benefit of yourself and for the benefit of all Dhamma sentient beings. First, immeasurable loving kindness. How good would it be that all my Dhamma sentient beings are freed from suffering and the cause of suffering. The cause of suffering primarily consisting of self-grasping ignorance and self-centered attitude. May all my dear sentient beings, we're supposed to be doing the, okay, it's fine, we'll do the immeasurable compassion first. May Almighty and Ascension beings be freed from suffering and the cause of suffering. I'll take the responsibility that Almighty and Ascension beings are freed from suffering and the cause of suffering. The Buddhas and Bodhisattvas were so happy to see what are you doing, what are you, the commitment that you're holding. They're so pleased. Like the mother, after all these many years of raising children, today the eldest daughter is just 12, and the son Islam, two of them come to the mother. Though they are so young, tender age, they come to the mother, tell the mother, Mother, please take rest. You have done everything for us. We have grown up now. We'll take care of all the siblings. And the mother couldn't believe her eyes and ears. So much joy and happiness arise in her. This is exactly what happens to all Buddhist Bodhisattvas. The joy and happiness invoke the compassionate minds to send forth nectars and very soothing lights towards you and all demon sentient beings. The mere touch of lust and nectars, but the body is yours. Washes of all the miseries and causes of miseries from all the demon sentient beings in yourself. And you witnessing such a miracle is happening to all the demon sentient beings. You're intensely happy. Take 3 deep breaths, sigh with relief. Immeasurable loving kindness. How good would it be that all my demon sentient beings are endowed with happiness and the causes of happiness. Causes of happiness primarily consisting of the most beautiful mind of the bodhicitta and the most fearless mind of the wisdom of emptiness. May all my demon sentient beings be endowed with happiness and the causes of happiness. I will take the responsibility that all my demon sentient beings are endowed with happiness and the causes of happiness. The Buddhas and Bodhisattvas witnessing that you are making such a courageous commitment, they are intensely happy and proud of you. This pride and happiness invoke their compassionate minds to send forth nectars for soothing lights towards you and all demon sentient beings. The mere touch of lights and nectars with the body speaks yours instills in all happiness and the causes of happiness in the minds of sentient beings yourself. And you seeing such a miracle is happening to all of the sentient beings, you're intensely happy. Take 3 deep breaths, sigh with relief. Immeasurable joy. How good would it be that all my dear sentient beings are never separated from happiness and the causes of happiness that they're endowed with. May all my dear sentient beings never be separated from happiness and the causes of happiness that they're endowed with. I'll take the responsibility that all my dear sentient beings are never separated from happiness and the causes of happiness that they're endowed with. The Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, witnessing that you're making such a courageous commitment, the intense happiness and proud of you, this pride and happiness invoke their compassionate minds to ascend for nectars of very soothing lights towards you and all demon sentient beings. Their mere touch of lights and nectars with the body speaks yours, stabilizes the happiness and causes happiness the beings endowed with. And you, witnessing such a miracle is happening to all the demon sentient beings, you're intensely happy. Take 3 deep breaths, sigh with relief. Next, immeasurable equanimity. How good would it be that all my dim sentient beings are freed from the biased attitude of excessive attachment towards some and aversion towards others, and instead abide in the great state of equanimity, embracing all other dim mother sentient beings equally, leaving none aside. May all my dear mother sentient beings be freed from the biased attitude of excessive attachment towards some and aversion towards others. I'll take the responsibility that all my dear sentient beings are freed from the biased attitude of excessive attachment towards some and aversion towards others. The Buddha's Bodhisattva witnessing that you're making such a courageous commitment, the intense happy and proud of you. This pride and happiness invoke their compassionate minds to send forth nectars with soothing lights towards you and all dear sentient beings. They mere touch the lights and the nectars with the bodies beings yours. Frees the beings from biased attitude of excessive attachment towards some and aversion towards others, and instead of making them abide in the great state of equanimity, embracing all other dim sentient beings equally, leaving them aside. And you witness what is happening to all the dim sentient beings. You're intensely happy. Take 3 deep breaths, sigh with relief. Underscore all the 4 immeasurables is the unconditional love towards all the beings, abundance experience. Imagine that you're looking at the eyes of His all sentient beings, total love and affection and care and embrace, to the extent that each one of them feels themselves as so special in your eyes. Okay, with folded hands, let us make a Bodhicitta commitment together 3 times. May I become Buddha for the benefit of all my dear mother sentient beings. May I become Buddha for the benefit of all my dear mother sentient beings. May I become Buddha for the benefit of all my dear mother sentient beings. Okay, slowly transform this beautiful mind of the bodhicitta into a spotlessly clean thumb size of the moon disk, horizontally sitting with a heart. Okay, that's amazing that we made such a courageous commitment to become Buddha for the benefit of all the sentient beings. But remember, no matter how much you squeeze a handful of sand, no oil comes out. So what makes you think that you can become a Buddha? Oh, yes, I'm not like a handful of sand, I'm like a handful of sunflower seeds, squeezing which oil does come out. I have the Buddha nature within me. Yes, if you're Buddha nature, you have the Buddha nature since time immemorial. Why not is manifested in full form till now. Yes, that's true. Thus far, I've been believing that the true demons of grasping, ignorance, and sender attitude, these are the best of my friends. Always getting feeling that they come in a facade. They come as my friends to protect me, to give me what I want, and to water what I dislike. And today I'm disillusioned by that. These are the true demons, always coming in that facade of guarding me, protecting me. Actually, behind the scene, they're only pulling all the miseries that we go through, that I go through, these 2 are the responsible, nobody else. So what are you going to do? I'm going to exterminate them. How? By resorting to a very powerful remedy. What is that? The non-dual wisdom of Arya Bodhi, wisdom of emptiness of the Arya Bodhisattvas. What is that like? Okay, let's quickly retrieve the experience of the emptiness, meditation emptiness, which we did as the 3rd or the 4th seal, 4 seals. Okay, quickly think of that person who you love so much. Yes, this feel of involuntary love, involuntary pull. That is involuntary meaning that you're vulnerable, you're weak. We don't have the power to voluntarily to decide that emotions, that the affection, and these things happen voluntarily. No, it's all happening involuntarily. There's loss of freedom. Okay, think of that person and how that person appears to you. like a dream that your mind is projecting is subjective real or objective real, so objectified, so solidified there from the object, 100% so sort of objective idea. So that belief is a self-grasping ignorance. Okay, how do we know that this is ignorance and just not a wisdom? To evaluate this, remember what Nagarjuna taught: if the mirage were to be water, one not those close by the mirage see water. Okay, so now let us subject yourself to see if it exists objectively by subjecting this ultimate analysis. But this, in also ultimate analysis, we just end up seeing the element of earth, all solid parts, element of earth, element of water, element of fire, air, space, and consciousness. See, which of the 6 elements is this person? None. If none, keep them away and see if the person exists as different from these 6 elements. Nothing. Okay, now we have come too close, and you have already ruled out the 2 possibilities for that person, that the person who you love so much to exist objectively. Now tell me, from the object, where is this person? Nowhere. It's just empty from the object. Stay in this experience for a while. Now imagine that you shift your mind from the ultimate analysis to conventional analysis. Okay, but you see, oh, again, the person comes back. You can go back to ultimate analysis, the person disappears. There's a constant change happening. These changes happen on the subjective level, not on the objective level. So this self, that is, which is part of change, is purely subjective. From the objects is empty. Yes, let's go to the ultimate analysis once more. Where's the self? This person who we love so much is just empty, to my surprise. This is what I discovered. Stay in this experience for a while. Slowly transform this mind into a spotlessly clean, thumb-sized white Vajra, vertically sitting on the moon of the heart. Which is amazing. You have the Vajra moon, you have the blaze of the non-dual bodhicittas, Vajra moon. The moon is symbolic of the connection bodhicitta, which will guarantee exterminate self-centered attitude, and a Vajra is symbolic of the ultimate bodhicitta, which guarantees to exterminate all the mental defilements, both afflictive and the kind of obscurations. Wow, that's amazing. Yes, that's true. But then what about your 2 parents, your family members, your children, and all the sentient beings? Yes, generate very strong compassion to them. And this compassion invokes your Vajramon to multiply infinite number of times. Share one set of Vajramon with your mom at her heart, one set with your father at his heart, one set with each of the family members, with children, and one with each of the beings here in Thosamling, the human beings, animals, insects, herbivores, god and goddesses, spirits, one with each of the beings in India, in your own country, in the entire world, and in the entire oceans, wilderness, in the entire Milky Way galaxy, in the entire universe. Okay. Wow, I'm so glad that this is what I'm able to do to all my dear sentient beings. And let us not miss to remember that the Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, they are watching us. Yes, why don't we invite them to be the witness and the guests who are taking the aspiration Bodhisattva vow. As a gesture of making this invitation, let us slowly stand up along with all dear sentient beings to make 3 prostrations to all Buddhas, Bodhisattvas. Okay, please sit on the right knees. Page 50. Okay, So as requested, imagine that you are a little girl, age 4 or 5, and as a little boy, age 4 or 5, and for the first time in your life, you're making public appearance on behalf of the school, and your parents, they leave behind whatever they have to do that day to join the audience, waving their hands to you, saying that we're here, we're so proud of you. This is exactly what all Buddhas, Bodhisattvas are happy doing. As you requested, they just give the full attention to what you're doing, focus on you with so much gentle smile of joy and pride in their mind to see what you're doing. And you as a little, although you are a very tender little girl or little boy, you're a very responsible child, and you bring along with you all the siblings. This is exactly what you're doing, to bring all the demonstration beings with you to take this aspiration bodhisattva vow. And anybody who admires compassion, you are entitled to take this aspiration bodhisattva vow. You don't require to be Buddhist. You don't require to be anybody. You don't require to even be a religious person, but simply somebody who admires compassion. You're entitled to take this practice. And for the actual bodhisattva vow, there's a different vow that requires somebody to have a deep experience. There's also some commitments, 18 commitments to observe, but here there's no commitment. At the most, if at all you would like to have some commitment, is to just feel that from today onwards, I'll try my best to render service, help to other people, and at least I will try not to harm others. So this much you can commit, you are entitled to take this. And the first verse, so given that this is the last day for this retreat, I'm going to quickly remind each one of us with this, the meaning of this mantra, with these verses. With the meanings reflected, the benefit is like thousandfold times more. So this journey of awakening your hidden treasure, the ultimate treasure, hidden treasure, which is way more precious, no comparison at all with the worldly treasures, worldly gems, or the trillions of dollars you might have. This is just nothing in comparison with hidden treasure within us. So to awaken that, this is something we have never done before, we have never attempted before. As such, we require incredibly great support, and the greatest of support that you can think of is the Triple Gem. So first line says, I'll go for refuge to Triple Gem. And then this journey involves the road, and the road should not be blocked by the boulders and fallen trees and so forth. So likewise, the road is none other than your own mind, which undertakes the journey of enlightenment. And this road of the mind must be freed of the boulder-like or the fallen tree-like, the negativities such as negative karmas, afflictions, so forth. We try to confess them, we try to remove them as much as possible. And the best way by which to do that is by confessing the negativities. Second line says, I confess the negativities individually. Now the road is very clear, but if the car does not have the fuel, again we cannot enter the journey. The car is none other than your own mind. This mind must have the inner fuel of the virtues. So the best way by which to do so is by rejoicing in the virtues of others and yourself, particularly the virtues of Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, and all the practitioners, and yourself also. The third line says, I rejoice in the virtues of the beings. Okay, now the road is clear, the car is enough fuel. What kind of journey are you going to undertake? The next line says, I hold the blessed Buddha in my heart. Okay, let's say this wholeheartedly 3 times together. I go for refuge to the Triple Gem. I confess the negativities individually. I rejoice in the virtues of all the beings. I hold the blessed Buddha in my heart. I go for refuge to the Triple Gem. I confess the negativities individually. I rejoice in the virtues of all the beings. I hold the blessed Buddha in my heart. I go for refuge to the Triple Gem. I confess the negativities individually. I rejoice in the virtues of all the beings. I hold the precious Buddha in my heart. Okay, the next 2 verses, I'm going to explain this. It starts with Gurus, invoking Gurus, Buddhas, Bodhisattvas to be here to you. And the first verse is that in the history of the humanity, is there somebody who succeeded in this journey of awakening the hidden treasure, unveiling the hidden treasure? Yes, there was a Prince Siddhartha who succeeded in this, and likewise all the Buddhas, they did that. How did they succeed? They succeeded by introducing two factors. The first factor is that they generated very strong bodhicitta, may I become Buddha for the benefit of sentient beings. And then the second factor, to materialize this aspiration to bodhicitta, they actually engaged in the bodhisattva practices. So if this were the case, the second verse says that if this is how they succeeded, the Buddhas like Buddha Shakyamuni, the Aryatara, and so forth, if they succeeded, then I will also follow the footsteps, like a very diligent and obedient daughter or son, following footsteps of the wise parents. So I'll also follow the footsteps. I'll also introduce these two factors. I'll also generate very powerful motivation to become Buddha for the benefit of sentient beings. And to materialize this aspiration, I'll also engage in bodhisattva practices such as 6 perfections, 10 perfections, so forth. Okay. So with the wholehearted imagine you are in this practice, and all sentient beings are joining us, and all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas that are watching us. Gurus, Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, please be here to me. Just as previous Buddhas have generated the mother of bodhicitta, and just as they successfully dwell in the Bodhisattva practices, likewise for the benefit of all sentient beings, I will generate the mother of bodhicitta, and likewise shall a true successful trainer in the Bodhisattva practices. Gurus, Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, please be here to me. Just as previous Buddhas have generated the mother of bodhicitta, and just as they successfully dwell in the Bodhisattva practices, likewise for the benefit of all sentient beings, I will generate the mother of bodhicitta, and likewise shall a true successful train in Bodhisattva practices. Gurus, Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, please be here to me. Just as previous Buddhas have generated the mother of bodhicitta, and just as they successfully dwell in the Bodhisattva practices, likewise for the benefit of all sentient beings, I will generate the mother of bodhicitta, and likewise shall a true successful train in Bodhisattva practices. Feel the joy of having received the expression Bodhisattva vow. Likewise, the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, like your parents, they're so proud of you today. And just imagine your mother, after all these many years, receiving complaint from the school principal, and today when she saw the school principal coming, again become so apprehensive, and the principal, no, we came here to congratulate you this time. What for? That your daughter and son dropped them appointed as the best of the students of this year of the school. The mother couldn't believe eyes and ears. This is exactly what has happened to all Buddhas, Bodhisattvas since time immemorial till today. Just imagine that the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, they only wish that we are freed from suffering by shunning the cause of miseries, by shunning the negativities. On the contrary, we always embrace, chase after the cause of miseries, and thereby continually suffer. And likewise, they only wish that we experience abundance of happiness by embracing virtues. On the contrary, we damage the virtues, we run away from the virtues, thereby they remain deprived of the happiness. And today what you're doing is very different. This makes the Buddhas Bodhisattvas feel so proud, so happy today. This happens proud with the Buddhas Bodhisattvas invoke the Vajramoon in the full-fledged form in their hearts to multiply infinite number of times. Like rain shower, they descend to merge with the one. These are because merge with the one that you visualize the heart, your heart, thereby become non-dual, stabilized, and blessed. Likewise, all the replicas of Vajramoon from the Buddhas Bodhisattvas, like rain shower, they descend to merge with the one that visualizes the heart of your mother, and the heart of your father, and the heart of each one of your members, including children, and each of the beings here in Thosamling nunnery. The human beings, animals, insects, honey ghosts, god and goddess spirits, and with each of the beings in the entire world, in the Milky Way galaxy, in the entire universe. Now, everyone, the Vajramoon that you have so kindly shared, they've been blessed, become non-dual, stabilized by all the blessings of the Vajramoon from Buddhas Bodhisattvas. This is amazing. This is to be celebrated, and this is the best gift that you can possibly offer to all the demonstrated beings. And today you did it. There's nothing more greater offering than this. The Buddha declared that one moment of generated compassion far excels the gifts of the whole universe filled with gems and offered to all Buddhas Bodhisattvas. If this would be the case, was to mention for our having taken the aspect of Bodhisattva vow. That's amazing. Today you have made the greatest of offerings to the Buddhas Bodhisattvas. And of your life, with your life, there is nothing greater meaning than this. And today you have given such a meaning to life. That's amazing. All these three wonders are happening, all because of the blessings and the kindness of all the Buddhas Bodhisattvas. As a gesture of thanking them, let us slowly stand up along with all their mother sentient beings to make three prostrations to all Buddhas Bodhisattvas. Page 51, next page. Okay, so this practice, yes, most of us will come to know that this is so precious, and and given that in the next life we're not sure whether we'll meet with such a practice or not. So two things to keep in mind. One is that if we don't meet with this practice, if we don't practice this, in other words, the tears, the painful tears will continuously be there. We'll never be able to stop that. What kind of the pains are waiting for us in the future? We never know. So to stop them altogether, the wise people, the wise ones will think of stopping them altogether, not just the immediate the pains, but the pains we're waiting, which are waiting for us in the future. To stop them altogether, two things to be done. One is that in the future also we meet with this practice, one meeting. Number two, once met, then we become very serious with this practice. Two things. So the first one that we are reciting is to include very powerful prayer that we meet with these teachings in the future. And then the remaining verses, that once we met with the teachings, we have been very seriously in this practice, so that very soon we stop the tears of samsara completely. Okay. Throughout my future lifetimes, may I always be guided by the compassionate Buddha and be able to uphold the true practice of bodhicittas even in the course of my life. Throughout my future lifetimes, may I always be guided by the compassionate Buddha and be able to uphold the true practice of bodhicittas even in the course of my life. Throughout my future lifetimes, may I always be guided by the compassionate Buddha and be able to uphold the true precious bodhicittas even in the course of my life. In order to further increase this bodhicitta from now on, those with discernment who have lucidly seized an awakened mind of bodhicitta in this way should highly praise in the following manner. Today my life has borne fruit, having well obtained this human existence. I've been born in the family of the Buddha and now in one of Buddha's children. Thus, whatever actions I do from now on must be in accord with the family. Never shall it disgrace or pollute this noble and unsullied race. Just like a blind man discovering a jewel in the Hebrew rubbish, likewise by some coincidence, an awakened mind has been born within me. It is a supreme ambrosia that overcomes the suffering of death. It is the inexhaustible treasure that eliminates all poverty in the world. It is the supreme medicine that quells the world's disease. It is a tree that shelters all beings wandering and tired on the path of conditioned existence. It is a universal bridge that leads to freedom. It is the dawning moon of the mind that dispels the torment of disturbing conceptions. It is a great sun that finally removes the misty ignorance of the world. It is the quintessential butter from the churning of the milk of Dharma. For all those guests traveling on the path of conditioned existence who wish to experience the boundless happiness, this will satisfy them with joy and actually place them in supreme bliss. Today, in the presence of all the protectors, at a festival of temporary and ultimate delight, may gods, demigods, and all be joyful. I dedicate the metta scattered of Buddhist Bodhisattvas of 3 times and to the whole doctrine of scripture and insight. May in all lives, through the force of this merit, never separate from the 4 wheels of the Mahana vehicle and accomplish all the stages of the path, renunciation, bodhicitta, pivotal in the 2 stages. From my 2 collections, vast space that have amassed from working with the effort at this great length of time, May I become the chief leading Buddha for all those whose minds were smiled, blinded by ignorance. Okay, Buddha's praise. Togye tuje shagere so cho shenge me to yege bonjo ba serge lumbo tabu jebe gu shaye yabo kela cha se lo oh mone mone mahamona iswaha Om Muni Muni Mahamuna Iswam Tage Duje Shageri Socho Meto Dege Bonjomba Segelumbo Tabo Jebe Kushaye Yabo Kela Chaselo Oh, Moni, Moni, Mahamuna Iswaha. Oh, Moni, Moni, Mahamuna Iswaha. Tage tuje shageri so cho shenge me to dege bonjo ba serge lumbo tabo jebe go shaye yebo kela shaselo oh moni moni mahamona iswaha oh moni moni Mahamuna Iswaha Oh Muni Muni Mahamuna Iswaha Oh Muni Muni Mahamuna Iswaha Om Muni Muni Mahamuna Iswaha Om Muni Muni Mahamuna Iswaha. Okay, three persistence together.